talk to yourself. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Testing.
Whoa, this is so cool.
Have you been on a podcast before?
No, I've never had a conversation with headphones on.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. And then just like make yourself comfortable. So like
Well, get in this little crevice.
in the crevice.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2. Alrighty, we have Mr. Rhys Gillett.
Gillette.
Like the
Gillette.
like the razor.
Yeah. Apparently, we're like, if you go back far enough, our families are related. And
No way.
It was two brothers. They got in a fight, and one brother's like, "I'm taking off the E," and that's my family. So.
Is that real, or are you just fucking with me?
That's what my dad told me. So, but I don't know if he knows. He's just making up history.
So you might be like part owner of like the whole Gillette.
Yeah, I don't have any rights to it. I'm pretty sure if, like, do you have rights to stuff if your family was related 400 years ago?
I don't know.
I'm coming for you.
I don't know.
I'm coming for you, Gillette brand.
Because my last name is Biltz, right? It's German. And a lot of people pronounce it like Blitz. It could be seen as that, right? And like, I don't know, like my dad told me this story a long time ago that, oh yeah, and like, at one time it was Blitz and they switched the I and the L because of some family reasoning. I don't know, maybe I own rights to the name Blitz in football.
Dang, dude. Get those Madden money.
I suck at football though.
Well,
yeah.
You're named after a great defensive play, you know?
I know, right?
From different angles.
I didn't even know what that meant at the time. I think I was in like 7th grade, bro. And they're like, no way, your last name's Blitz. Like, dang, man, like, that must be so cool. You must be really good at football. And I had no clue. I didn't play football growing up. So I didn't know what a blitz was.
You're just learning this.
And I'm just learning this in 7th grade. I was like, oh.
I
I mean, I should have known that a lot earlier, but yeah. What do you call it? So you're saying...
Also, can I just say, it's funny how back in the day, when families had disputes, they're like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna switch a letter up in our name, and we're just gonna go different paths.
That's basically what happened to you. They said they took out an L?
Yeah, there are an E.
An E,
So one brother dropped the E at the end.
Yeah. Also, bring the mic down like a little bit so people can see your beautiful face.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
It is. Cool. Yeah, it was kind of...
It's kind of right there.
I was like, oh, hi, Mike. What's up? But I think that's such a funny thing. Like, I guess we do it nowadays. People change their names all the time from their family names.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, especially, I have a lot of, like, girlfriends, too, who, like, keep their maiden name when they get married. Or, not girlfriends, like, I have a client who did that just because, I don't know. And then, like, you see...
Well, if the dude's last name sucks, like, you're like, I'm keeping my name, dude. I'm sorry. I don't want to be...
Yeah, it's weird. Last names are weird, bro, because where do they come from? And then they just stay in generation for generation for generation. And then one day, someone, I don't know, just gets high and be like, oh, fuck this name. It's ugly. Like, I'm going to change it. Especially, like, first names, too. I don't know if you pay attention, like, to Kanye. He just started changing his name to Yee.
Yeah.
Like, that's better.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Dude, it's weird. So, like, after I left... me and Rhys I was bartending and serving at this place called Sonoma Wine Garden in Santa Monica, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you there too?
I was.
Yeah. And then we went to this place called Oasis, which is the old 41 Ocean, right across the street. And so after I left that place, I kind of was working on the bitters a lot. You can see them up there, by the way. I'll give you a bottle on the way to go.
Oh, please.
You drink still, right? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Too much. More than
And so Kanye, I used to work at Soho Warehouse. That's where I was at right after that, after a few months. And Kanye would come in all the time and sit at the bar. And it was just weird because I listened to his music while working out and all that stuff.
Yeah, he makes bomb music, dude.
Do you like all his new stuff?
I haven't listened to the newest album. It's so long. Like, it's like such a... I've gotten through chunks of it, and then I get distracted.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What music do you listen to now? Like, cause you work out, right? And then that's one thing that attracted to me to you when we were like working together, bro. You're so positive and like you were talking about kettlebells and like working out. You're taking Onnit supplements. I was like,
oh yeah,
I don't know that many people. Cause like I was like, dang, this is the shit that I do.
I'm on Onnit supplements right now.
Taking some Alpha Brain, baby.
Yeah, I did actually. And
first off, can you explain what Alpha Brain is? Because I was taking it for a while.
It's a nootropic.
What's a nootropic?
A nootropic is something that helps stimulate the neurons in your brain so they will fire off faster, I think. I'm not a scientist. You're asking me these questions. This is my butchering of my understanding of it.
Sure.
So, and it's a natural supplement.
From like plants.
Exactly. It's been shown to help with memory and focus in 2 separate double-blind studies, which is like if you're gonna do a study, double-blind gets the most unbiased results, and you can really tell a placebo effect in a double blind.
Could you tell the difference when you start taking it? Because I haven't taken it for probably like a year, because it is pretty pricey sometimes.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, but like I could tell because I would go 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off. And like I could tell like I was more alert, paying attention to more conversations, like remember my short-term memory was a little bit better in my opinion, but I didn't measure it, so like I don't know for sure, but from just like a subjective standpoint, like I think it helps a lot. And for anyone out there who has problems with focusing or I feel like has ADHD or anything like that, I feel like it's super beneficial.
Yeah, and it's not like an Adderall. When I was diagnosed with ADHD as a child, and Adderall fucked with my sleep schedule, it fucked with my appetite, it fucked with my emotions. You're already like out of control at that age.
Yeah.
But the like peaks and valleys, like of my emotions were just way out of whack. And
when was this? Just growing up?
Yeah, I think I was like 10 to 13 years old. It was a weird time in my life too, because I went from being competitive in Taekwondo and training 6 days a week, and I even did like a 3-week camp with the Olympian for Team USA in 2004 Taekwondo team. He won the gold that year. And I trained with him for 3 weeks as a kid.
That's cool.
Because he was dating my sensei's daughter.
Okay.
Who was also going for Team USA. And anyways, I went from that to injuring my back. And
how did you injure your back?
Taekwondo, apparently, what was it? Well, the surgery was a spinal fusion on my L5. And the break was pretty minor. And then as time went on...
So you broke your back?
Right. Yeah. But it's not like... I mean, I don't want to make it... There's like people that have really broken their back.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. Mine was just kind of like, I was still getting around. I was still able to function pretty well. And I ended up having surgery... Went from this completely active lifestyle to this completely sedentary lifestyle, and that kind of and then I was taking Adderall and shit. Weird time in my life is what I'm saying. And to connect it, it's Alpha Brain is great. And like I noticed it different too. You have to call yourself out on the placebo, but honestly, I feel that I process tasks a lot better. Like I can allocate my time and get things done a lot better on it.
Yeah. Are you fully back to training again? Because you said you were sedentary for a little bit. So do you train like Taekwondo still or work out at all?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to any classes. I would love to get back into that. I mean, I took a long break from doing any kind of training like that, like through high school, through most of college, and then I ended up getting a bag and just kind of getting back into it.
Punching bag or a kick bag?
Yeah, a kicking bag. I've just broken so many bags at this point that I've gotten one of every type. I've tried water bags.
Yeah.
That was great, but I punched it and I punched a hole through it. And that's it just happens, like wear and tear.
Yeah.
If you're going hard on these things, like.
Do you have your bags outside?
No. I have a garage. So I have a little gym set up there with some mats.
I'll have to check it out sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. How often do you hit the bags, bro? Because I feel like it takes a long time to wear and tear a bag.
It takes me like 3 months, but I'm doing it almost either every day or like every other day, depending on how I'm fitting in my basketball and my weightlifting. And it's just 30 minutes. I'll just give myself 30 minutes, set a timer, go as hard as I can. If I do take breaks, I try and keep it.
So you don't do rounds, you just go straight.
I try and keep
minutes.
it 30 seconds. I'll take breaks, but I try and keep it under 30 seconds. Yeah, because in the 30 minutes, I try and do a variety of things. Like I'll go like super intense for a small amount of time and give myself a break. And then I'll do like really consistent combinations and just mix up, like slow it down a little bit, but be very consistent on the bag.
Yeah.
And then I'll go super, so it's like interval training on the bag.
What got you into, I guess, like back into like training again, like punching the bag, basketball, weightlifting? What motivated you to get back into it?
I guess it started with weightlifting, and most of it I would have to accredit to podcasts, like just listening to Joe Rogan's and him, like hearing him in my voice, like head, like don't be a little bitch. And so
it's weird when you listen to like I don't know, like a David Goggins or a Joe Rogan or a Draco, you know, like people who have this like weird motivation of like suffering or like something like that, because you throw on like a podcast with David Goggins or just like his book or audiobook in your head, and you're like, I could run for miles. I'm like, you're soft, dude. You like, this workout is gonna help you, prepare you for your day, your week, your life. You know,
dude, he's, especially David Goggins, is like so good about bringing out the inner fire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just hear him talk, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I need to do something.
Yeah, it's weird because I guess like in today's day and age, bro, like a lot of people sit at a desk all day, right? They don't move, they're not sedentary, and honestly, life is pretty easy from what it used to be like a long time ago. Like, we're not fighting wars anymore. Me and you are like just making money, living in LA, enjoying this 70-degree weather every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, look at where we're at right now. You're in this beautiful apartment on this lovely couch.
Yeah. And objectively, it's like, yo, like you need some AKA suffering in your life to make your life better, you know?
Yeah.
Or else your head's just gonna like...
For you to feel gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't put yourself through shitty circumstances, then you won't appreciate the amazing circumstances.
Yeah.
You know?
What's that thing? It's like, you need to experience one thing, you have to experience the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a good friend because I used to be a really, really bad friend. Like, I have a good relationship because I experienced heartbreak. I love being fit because I used to be really, really, really unfit, type of deal.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you have social media, bro? Like, I'm so confused. Because, like, especially you're pursuing to be an actor right now, right?
Yes, sir.
And I feel like a lot of business, a lot of, like, media is, like, through, I don't know, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and...
It's a terrible career choice.
No, Oh, what is?
Not having social media.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, what's your motivation there? Is it because like you don't want to get addicted to it? Is it because like you have like a headspace, you don't want to put your headspace there? Like, what's it at?
All that toxic shit that I know is true with social media.
Because it is true. It is true.
And
a lot
like
of people
I've had a Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I still do. I don't really go on it.
Yeah.
I've had shit like Snapchat. I've watched TikToks. That shit is all addicting as fuck.
It is.
Like, it's and it's like I don't need to expose myself to that stuff. It's so it's engulfing, and it's not the headspace I want to be at. I see what it does to other people, and I see their like it will suck their whole day. My roommate, either he'll wake up and kill the day, or sometimes he wakes up and he goes on social media and he won't move from either the couch or his bed for like 4 hours. And I'm there and I want to shake him. I'm like, dude, I tell him, I'm like, go, you gotta go work out, do something, get the fuck off the phone.
Yeah.
And I guess part of me is afraid of all that stuff. Part of me is also like, I'm on such a great path of self-love right now. I don't want to be like knocked off that path. And I'm hesitant. I'm afraid of it because I know how powerful it is.
Yeah. I've
seen it, but I am probably gonna make one. I just won't be too attached to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a manager.
It's like it's hard to do because, like, for example, I'll look at my screen time and it says like 6 to 7 hours a day, right? I'm just like,
whoa,
that's a long fucking time. And then I realize, like, I have friends who like have a career on TikTok, right? They literally make their living making TikToks.
Wow.
And super cool, right?
That is pretty cool.
It's cool, but I look at their screen time, it's like 11 hours a day. And I'm like, that's most of your day.
That's so nuts.
Yeah, you're looking at a screen. And I thought mine was bad. They got double.
Yeah.
You know? And I respect where you're coming from, and it's super cool because, like, I feel like you're kind of an off-grid type of guy too. And it allows you to, like, stay in your space, experience that self-love, everything like that. But on the other hand, you're also cut off. So, like...
Yeah, I know. And it does, and I do feel like I would be able to meet a lot of cool people if I did.
So a lot of people meet each other online too. Like,
yeah.
It's just weird. Like, in terms of, like, networking, in terms of, like, certain careers. I don't know, yeah.
And then, like, I know this guy who... He's kind of like a whiz at this stuff, I guess. And he wants to make one for me. And he'll like just manage it. I think, I mean, I'm gonna have
Access.
Final say
on what
I post and everything. I just don't want to even have the icon on my phone. I want to be able to, like, I'll have to go to the desktop or something to pull it up.
Yeah.
I just don't want it on my phone because at work, for instance, I don't want to fill my time from just mindless scrolling.
Yeah.
I want to, even if I'm bored, I want to do like a breathing exercise where I'm mindfully just taking in what's happening.
Yeah. Do you meditate every day? Yeah, I called you today and you were
every day.
So how long have you been doing that for?
I'm going on a year and a half.
Year and a half on meditating every single day. Like, you haven't missed
a day. First of all, no. I've definitely missed a day. But it is every single, like, I would say I might miss a day a month.
Okay. So what's your process for meditating? Because, like, I went on a phase where I meditated for, I think it was like 3 months straight. And then, like, I don't know, I just stopped doing it.
Well, what did you do?
So I started with Headspace, right, the app. And that was really cool. It was a point in my life where I was kind of lost type of deal. And I was just like trying everything, reading books, listening to podcasts. I was like, fuck it, let's try meditating. It helped. And then I feel like after my, I got a really good point in my life, and I feel like my meditative states are like flow states when I work out or run. Like it's similar. I get that similar feeling. I think that's where I don't know if you could call it the same thing, but that's where I kind of go now. I don't know if it evolved into that state or if it's totally different, but I get a clearer present state from doing those things. But after I did Headspace, I just started just going out, breathing in, breathing out, just paying attention to like your body. That's kind of it. That's it. So, What about you? What's your process?
I've never tried Headspace. First of all, I've tried a lot of different things.
I tried Headspace because I tried it by myself, and I was like, okay, closing my eyes, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, trying to stay present, and then my timer didn't go off, and I looked and I thought I was meditating for like 20 minutes. It was like 2 minutes. So the thing with Headspace, you could put it in 20, 30, 40 minutes and they'll talk you through it. There's like ocean breeze in the background, or like whatever, very calming, sexy voice. And then
you're like, am I getting turned on right now?
Yeah. And then they'll be like, namaste, your 30 minutes is up. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah.
You're like, I can't. So I've tried guided ones. Those aren't necessarily my favorite.
Aren't?
They aren't
Okay.
actually.
I mean, I think they help though. If like you haven't meditated before, it gives you a good like starting point.
I think that yeah. Then that's basically where I did start. And also, everyone's different. This is meditating. You could say is similar to diet, exercise, like everything. Everybody's different. What's gonna work for you might not work for me, and you should try different things and see what lands.
Yeah.
But so I started off just like a 10-minute sitting there, nothing, and that was starting off is also so excruciating.
Yeah.
Because when
sitting there, do you like sit on the ground? You sit on the couch? What do you do?
Yeah. Sometimes I just go outside and sit on the ground outside
crisscross applesauce
in the sun. Yeah, I used to know what the mudras meant, but I've forgotten that. I don't usually do that. I just like hold my knees, crisscross applesauce. Now I usually do it in the sunlight. Earlier when I first started, I would like try and do it in a dark room. I prefer the sunlight. I don't know, and also I don't know if any of this is correct or anything.
Sure.
This is just
it's
what
correct for you.
Helps me.
Yeah.
And I've tried the guided ones. I would just lose a lot of focus, and sometimes the guided ones would kick ass.
Yeah.
And I'd like have an out of body experience, I swear. And like really just not focus anything that's going on here and be just engulfed in the guide and what they're saying. And that is pretty powerful. So I'm not.
What's your experience in meditation? Like, what
so
do you
now,
focus on?
Now it's breathing, and if I do have but you have to be really careful about not judging yourself when you're not meditating correctly, quote unquote. So if I learned this from Duncan Trussell actually. He talked about.
Love Duncan.
He's hilarious. But he talks about when he meditates, if he thinks about something other than nothing, he just labels it a thought and then he moves on.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was a thought. It's you had a thought. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then just try and continue building your meditation practice. So focus on breathing or mantra, and I do 15 minutes completely still, just breathing. And then I do a minute and 30 seconds of Wim Hof breathing. And then...
So what's because I started following Wim Hof like way before he got big, probably like 10 years ago or something like that. And I just known him as like the cold guy. Like I started taking like cold showers because of him.
Yeah.
Right? But what's it?
Huge
Can you
effect.
explain his breathing process? Because like I don't really know too much about that.
Well, just the basic one. I'm pretty sure he goes pretty deep into it, and it's what he does is probably way more complex than what I do. But it's just breathing in and like just letting your chest fall on the breath out, like not exhaling all the way. So you're trying to over oxygenate the blood, and this can cause like a tingling sensation in your fingertips.
Yeah.
And but afterwards, during it, it kind of is like suffering a little bit. I kind of enjoy it too. Like there's a little part where you're like, I want to stop, but this is kind of fun. Your heart might explode, you know. The after effects of all that, I get, it just feels like energy is swirling around you. And then I go from that into square breathing, which is developed by the samurai. So it's inhale for a count, hold, and that's called your top breath for a count, exhale for a count, and then hold the exhale for a count. That's called your bottom breath. And I do that up to 12. Okay. So 12-second inhale, 12-second hold. And that's really cool too. That does something with the blood and...
Sure, you don't know the science behind it.
No, I don't. All I know is that I've listened to people describe the science, haven't retained it fully, but tried it out.
So what has these breathing techniques and meditation done for you over the last year and a half?
So I would say I didn't do all the breathing techniques the whole time.
Sure.
I kind of implemented them over time. But the self-awareness that I've gained through it has been very powerful. And
in what way?
So especially if I do a section of mantra.
Mantra?
Yeah, mantra. And those, I do two different things. They're both four thoughts each though. The first is I love myself fully, I trust myself fully, I respect myself fully, I'm enough. And from these breathing techniques and just focusing on this stuff, I've developed like in the moment awareness of, are you loving yourself fully? Like questioning that.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to speak these words, are your decisions actually
parallel?
Yeah.
With what you're saying to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other four things I speak are from Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. And the four agreements are be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions, don't take anything personally, and always try your best.
I need to read that book again. I have it here somewhere.
Oh yeah, dude, it's such a great, easy read. You know, like it's not...
Read it in a day.
You can read it in a day, It's so thoughtful. He does great stuff. That's the first book of his that I read, and I read it recently actually. But I want to get into all of his stuff.
Yeah,
all of it.
Those are very good mantras. I feel like they just loving yourself to like the fullest you can does great things, not just for you but for the people around you. Because I feel like you're not the best person for other people if you're not the best person for yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. When I feel that I'm actually loving myself fully and accepting myself fully, it opens the door for me to accept everyone and their situation in life, and just like you become a radiator of love, you know, which is cool.
So circle back around to how meditating has helped you?
Just awareness, like building that self-awareness, and it's helped me become a better person, I would say.
Cool.
And
that's what's up, man.
Yeah, build focus too.
Yeah. What do you call it? So where did this acting come from? Last time we talked, also it's super funny. We decided to do a podcast because Rhys accidentally texted me. He was like, "Yo, Nate, what's up?" He texted the wrong Nate, and I was like, "Hey, man, remember when you wanted to do a podcast? You still down to do that and work out?" He was like, "Yeah, best accident ever."
Dude, that was so funny. I guess I I had so many Nates in my phone.
Common name,
but
I
dude,
guess.
that was a happy accident.
Yeah.
Because you're always such a chill dude.
Thanks,
And
man.
yeah, we've never really hung out outside of work.
Not really. We went out one time.
We went out, right?
After work with me, you, and Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff is amazing.
How's he
He's
doing?
the man. I haven't talked to him in like a month or so, but he got another job at this other restaurant. That's about all I know.
So what got you into acting since I haven't talked to you in a while?
I would say a number of things. First, when I saw Fight Club, I was probably...
With Brad Pitt,
Edward Norton.
And Edward Norton.
I forget that girl's name, but she's amazing. She's really great in it. She's in all the Tim Burton films.
Don't know.
Anyways.
Yes.
Beside the point. That movie, when I saw it, it really shifted a lot of things in my mind from a 10-year-old perspective.
Oh, so have you been wanting to act for a long time?
I didn't. So that started spurring my interest in like what stories can do. And then I got kind of fascinated with the idea of becoming an actor, and then I thought that a lot of actors were really cool. So there was like a shallow side behind it too, I'd say, if I'm being completely honest. And
what actors do you think are really cool?
Well, Brad Pitt's the shit. Brad Pitt's what?
He's really
Matthew
good.
McConaughey.
Have you read his book?
I want to.
Green Lights is super good.
I've heard quotes from it. Sounds wild.
You should read it.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, pretty much. He's been with my sister for years. He read it, and he became like an instant Matthew McConaughey fan. Yeah. So, and I've always been a Matthew McConaughey fan. He's done some of my favorite shit. Interstellar.
Yeah.
True Detective. Yeah. Oh my God. Dallas Buyers Club.
Super good.
Mud. Like, he's been in so many phenomenal things. But the type of person they were kind of resonated with me, I guess. And just the fact that I tried it and it was terrifying.
You tried it?
Like, tried acting.
Okay.
I tried acting. It was terrifying. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah. But
something inside me felt very alive. And it was really fun because all you do is you're playing pretend. It's not to make things overcomplicated, you see a lot of kids give phenomenal acting performances because they're great at playing pretend. I think that acting kind of gets harder the older you get because you're so used to wearing these faces and these facades about who you are that it's hard to detach yourself from those and like truly become someone else and play pretend.
Yeah. Is that what I guess motivated you to like want to start acting? Just like get out of that like construct?
Yeah, there is a huge escapism. Like I always escaped into stories as a kid. I would go, we had this beautiful, I always lived with houses with beautiful backyards on the water growing up in Florida.
What part of Florida are you?
St. Petersburg.
Okay, cool. My girlfriend's from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Ooh, dang. What's that county called? Oh, whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways, Jacksonville's cool. Where I grew up, it's by Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah. But beautiful, absolutely beautiful there. And like the sand and the beaches, the water, oh my God. I would spend all day in my backyard just reenacting different stories. I would watch my cousins play, they always had the sickest video games. They would like play it and then I would go in the backyard and like pretend to be Zhao Yun. They used to play this game called Dynasty Warriors, and my favorite character was Zhao Yun, and he used a spear, so I grabbed like the pool cleaner thing, detached it, and then I would just be wielding this spear, like pretending to be Zhao Yun. I would do that for hours as a kid. Like, so I always kind of escaped from boredom by going into a different world.
I feel like I feel like those are good escapes because obviously you could have bad escapes through like alcohol or like substances, right?
Yeah,
But,
I do a little bit of that now too.
Yeah, but no, there's a good like theme and balance to it because like I don't know, for me, working out's an escape. For you, meditation's kind of an escape too.
Working out too.
Yeah.
Working out is a huge therapy thing.
Yeah.
I clear my head. Like what you were saying earlier totally resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
That was it's a little therapy.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, these escape things to go to is just like I feel like it's good to like be present with yourself and all that stuff, but it's also good to escape into these, I don't know, different realms, right? Because like I don't know, you could experience a outer body experience for meditation. You could experience a life lesson through these stories from a movie or like any acting gigs, right?
Yeah, empathy, right? Like you can develop empathy for a character's circumstances and situations in life, and then
you can't experience on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it unfolds into this story, and then this can taking that out of the story, now interacting with the world, you think everyone else is living out their own story, so you can have empathy for the world. And I mean, this is how I take it, at least.
Yeah.
You know, like,
no, for sure.
Like everyone has their own story to tell, and what they're doing with their life right now is because of their story and what they've lived.
Yeah, that's one thing that I love about doing this podcast too, because I feel like you can learn something from anybody.
Yeah, dude, I've talked about shit right here, right now that I haven't talked about in years. This is what is happening? It's so funny.
Yeah, no, I feel like everyone has a special story, and like you can learn from every single person, like from even if you believe that they are better than you objectively or worse than you objectively, it doesn't matter. They experience something that you haven't. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it takes practice to kind of build that mindset.
Practice in what way?
Like when I was younger, you're kind of more arrogant.
I feel like most kids are arrogant than adults. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You know, or at least something happens when you you hit 14, you're like, nah, dude, I got the world figured out, and everyone sucks except me.
Yeah, that's weird. I think I had that, like, especially to your parents, like when you hit like 13, 14, 15, 16, like it's like you don't know what you're talking about. I know everything, you know, and then looking at back,
lived a life.
Yeah, and looking it back at right now, I was like, I was kind of right, but they were kind of right too.
Yeah, and hey, that's a truth of life too.
Yeah, what?
Two people can disagree, but be right for their life, like. You know?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with politics too that I don't like. I was like, you guys are both right to a certain extent.
It's not nuanced enough.
What do you mean?
Politics, like there's like either you're this or you're that.
Yeah, or you're wrong, right? There's no like gray.
And then it's like let's also discuss the nuances of everything, because and really what we should be focused on is what's true, not whether someone's a liberal or a Republican. Just what's true, and
the truth, I guess, is making the world a better place, not being like
a politician.
Yeah, being a politician, like making money, because like that's one thing that for your reason to not be on social media, I don't pay attention to news. I like don't read it. I don't have it. Everything that I hear news-wise is from clients of mine, from friends of mine, and that's how. Like I get big things in. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's not in my headspace, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of news is negative these days, and I don't want that to like ruin my day. There's not one thing that I can do personally to change any of that. Like me as one person, I'm not a big politician. I can't do anything about it. It's out of my hands. So why would I let this news source ruin my day?
Yeah, it's indulging in like fear porn. That's what the news is.
Yeah.
It's just fear pornography.
Yeah.
Everything, they're not like discussing how do we get to the truth? What is the truth? Be optimistic about it. How ideas about how to fix stuff. It's always like the world is ending, the climate is out of control, everything. Dude, it was so funny. Last night there was a little bit of weather, right? I turned
a little bit of rain, you mean?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I turned on my car, and for some reason the radio comes, and the radio caster's like talking to someone on the phone. He's like, "Man, what's happening? Is this the apocalypse?" There's the tiniest bit of weather, and people in LA are freaking the fuck out. Like the world is ending.
LA people are soft, bro.
But it's like they get off on this fear. There's a side of them that's like excited that this rain means the apocalypse is happening. Satan is here.
Well, it's also, you can tell from the whole pandemic thing too. Like all of California has a mask mandate. It's gone away, and LA is sticking with it for another couple months. Like, the whole world is opening back up, and you guys still want to not see each other's faces.
Yeah. And dude, all these studies are going off about how like this messes with kids' social skills.
Oh, for sure, bro. There also, the statistics shown recently that I think, don't quote me on this, I don't know if I'm exactly right, but the kids under 16 years of age, the obesity rate has gone up 50%.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for kids, Also, no one follows it, bro. Like, remember when me and Rhys were working at this restaurant it's over a year now, right? At Oasis?
Yeah, pretty.
Dude, no one was wearing a mask that time.
No one gave a fuck.
No, but the thing is, bro, people are going to party if they want to party. People are going to go out if they want to go out. People aren't going to wear a mask if they don't want to wear a mask. Everyone just puts it on in a grocery store, walking the streets to make people feel better, which is cool. Like, I get it.
I'm a good person.
I got my mask on, even though the science doesn't tells you that these don't do anything.
Yeah, dude. I mean, people, they literally, especially cloth masks. Yeah. Like, dude, it's so many studies have shown that they don't do a thing, but they're more socially acceptable than not wearing a mask. And dude, I've had customers at Benihana's who are eating their maskless, and my nose, sometimes when I talk, it's down on my chin and dropped below my nose. This lady was freaking out on me.
She was asking, can you please put up your mask?
No, she was screaming at me.
That doesn't make sense, bro, because
and I'm there like, I'm like, oh, okay. And I pulled it up. And then she asked the managers if I could not go around her table.
Yeah, that frustrates me, dude, because these people come into our basically our home, because like we basically live at these restaurants.
Well,
and we're in these restaurants
40 hours a week.
Yeah, right. And you're coming into our home, and you get to experience this nice dinner, right? You get to experience this nice plate of food. You get to go out, enjoy it, and you don't need to wear a mask, right? And these people who are working for you, giving you this experience, look like they're suffering, like that, and it sucks when that happens, because to me, it's like, yo, you're not being appreciative of this experience. And
it's like they're treating me below human. It's like dehumanizing.
Yeah.
Like, because my mask was down here, now you have the right to yell at me.
Yeah. And like, you could have been nice about it. Like, she should have been like, excuse me, sir, can you just, I don't feel comfortable with like your mask on, can you just please put it up?
Yeah, and I have people do that too, and that's way more, whew.
Yeah, whatever. You're like, yeah, of course. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Even with this lady, you know what? Maybe she's just having a stressed out day. I don't really care, but I found it really funny that she was getting upset with me because her whole family wasn't wearing a mask. Yeah. And the next table next to her, she doesn't know them either.
And they're right there.
In an indoor restaurant, they're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
It's fucking like, so it just kind of gives people, it's a point of division at this point. And it gives people ammunition to spit that division out into the world and be like, bah.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't really love about LA right now. It's totally like, A lot of people like that. A lot of people like that.
They get on their virtue signal.
Yeah.
They get on their little pedestal, and it's like.
But one thing I do love about LA too is like Aubrey Marcus talks about this a lot. I know you're big fans, like tribes. There's a lot of good like communities out here if you want to be part of it. Like for example, me, my F45 community, super positive, great people with great heart. Like my little tribe of friends that I have out here in the entertainment industry or bitters world and bartending world, they're great. You know, so like, and there's like clubs out here, like people have like yoga classes that they go to. There's people like, my buddy has this whole community around his Thai boxing gym, or the whole community under my buddy's rock climbing place. You know, like all these hobbies are like my girlfriend, she knows this whole community in the dance world, and they get to experience that. They have a good time together. Really has this really home feeling to all these certain communities, and that's one thing I love about LA too. Because like at my hometown, there's like clubs and stuff like that. They're just not as big or not as like a bigger community.
You're from
Fresno, California.
Fresno.
Yeah.
The middle. Yeah. It's different than LA. But that's so amazing that you've found that. Honestly, sometimes I'm struggling right now because I'm going through a breakup.
That's been going on for a long time.
I mean, we've been
on and off.
No, we were living together.
I know, I remember.
But it was
on and off living together.
We were fighting. We were going through tumultuous times. Mm-hmm. But she, anyways. So I'm getting out of that. We broke up 4 months ago. We're together for over 2.5 years, and just learning. I guess I haven't found that, but that's
found what?
All these little communities, and that's so amazing that you have found that for yourself.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I have it at work.
Sure.
Like I love my coworkers, but outside of that, I'm looking for more to develop that even more and find more of that. And you're so right. As humans, just having people around you that you feel not judged and you can be yourself. Yeah. And they got your back. That's so important. Yeah,
it is super important. Like, maybe, like for example, like I feel like a relationship is like the smallest version of a tribe, right? Because, like, you have someone to experience like this life with, right? And they get to do things with you. If anything good happens to you or anything bad happens to you, what do you want to do? You want to tell somebody, right? If that's like a family member, obviously that could be part of your tribe. But the thing is, like, families don't necessarily get along all the time, right? So wherever you choose for that to be, that's tribes of one person or like a community around meditating or whatever. Like that's what humans want to do. Like they want to talk about like what's going on with them, or else like all the craziest people in the world are just stuck in their own head, not telling anyone anything, you know? And I feel like you also have to talk things out to develop your beliefs and like what you believe in. For example, we were talking about open relationships and regular relationships when we were working together. You're like, I don't know like what's right or what's wrong. Like I really enjoy this one relationship with my girlfriend, but on the other hand, like I want to experience all these other cool other beautiful girls who are giving me attention. You know, and like which one's right? You know, like if you read Sapiens, it'll tell you that humans aren't meant to be monogamous, right? But for my personal experience, like I love monogamy right now. Like I love sharing this like life with one person who knows everything, you know, versus like you could spread yourself to a ton of different other individuals, and like maybe that satisfies some itches, but then there's that one thing that's still missing. Yeah,
I would say this is a really cool time in my life. Very like I'm going through a transformation on a lot of levels. And most days it's great. Like I'm learning to love I finally have time and peace to love myself. Sure. And then sometimes it's excruciating with loneliness and isolation. But those are important days too, because sometimes they lead to a self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been having enough of those days alongside with going on dates
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I don't necessarily, I don't think that like being poly and dating a bunch of people
Mm-hmm.
is really where I want to be either.
Yeah. I just brought that up as an example because I know we had that conversation.
No, and honestly, at that point in my life, I was more curious about it because I was in this monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
And we weren't like talking about our feelings
Yeah.
correctly with one another,
Yeah.
and we weren't
I
treating each other.
feel like that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing is just to be open about everything. Like in any type of relationship, if it's like an intimate relationship and you're curious about other things, you should talk about it. If we're in a friendship and we're not agreeing on something, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? And then, therefore, we'll find an answer, and we don't need to have the same answer, but we'll come to a conclusion.
We can come to a conclusion, and it doesn't need to be, I need to change you.
Yeah.
And you need to start thinking me now.
Yeah.
You have to, the way I think, you gotta think. Sorry.
Yeah, which, again, circling back around to like politics, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Also, I'm still working on that. Even with my roommates, sometimes I'm like, I want, like, there'll be things where I'm like, I want to change a little bit, but I can't. And it's a great exercise to learn to let that go and just accept him for being him and love him.
Yeah, but and if it bugs you that much too, that's the reason why like I moved out too. I realized I can't change who I was living with, right? If they want to change, it's not going to be on my time, on my I guess expected time for him to do this. If he wants to change, it's going to be up to him when, where, how, and I don't need to be around that if it affects me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
yeah, like he's going on. He needs to go on his own self journey.
Yeah.
And you need to go on yours.
Yeah, and if his journey affects mine, then I just need to step back and go my own way. You know.
Well, if it affects it negatively.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Obviously, positively.
Also, if it's positive,
what's good, bro?
Where you going?
Yeah.
Let's take this journey. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
And that's very well put. And it's also walking those grounds and learning. Like, I'll be honest, freaking some drugs I should not do. Like, they're not. Sorry. I did not think that I did that loud.
Just slammed it. It's okay.
Like, the past couple times I've done coke, the next day I feel so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, really, really depressed.
Yeah, that's it's weird that you would continue to do that because you're self-aware right now that that's what coke does to you.
Right. But also right now I'm not drunk.
Yeah.
And when I'm drunk, all I think about is, ooh, the serotonin release when I do it.
Yeah.
Like the high from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking about I'm being very in the moment.
Yeah.
Mostly because my thoughts are, you're drunk. Your thoughts are
I took mushrooms for the first time January of last year. I don't remember we had this conversation, but we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was a big, I learned so much about myself through that experience. And I don't do it often. I think I've done it 3 times now. And
you have a crazy story about them though. You did it.
Yes, I did it in Joshua Tree.
And the club with like Jeezy and stuff, or
that was different time.
Okay.
And I'm surprised you remember that. Yeah, I did do that, but that was just, I don't remember that whole story. I remember I did do one that time. Basically, back to my first point. Is some drugs I think are super beneficial for you. Like I think small doses of like psilocybin or small doses of marijuana can relax you, relieve anxiety, all that. And I don't know what type of drugs do certain people too, because like I read Steve Jobs' biography and he did acid so many times, and I don't know if this is exactly correct, but during one of those trips he was like, oh shit, what if phones didn't have keypads and it's just a screen, you know? And he just comes up with an idea on that. And what does that do? That changes the entire world because look at everybody.
Oh my god. Did it change the world? Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, someone else came up with it, whatever. But like,
I'm pretty sure psychedelics have been. People have had a lot of really creative, almost human shifting ideas on psychedelics, and those are drugs that I still want to do. Yeah, those are ones.
I've never done coke. Can you explain to me the feeling?
So everything, you go numb a lot. Like a lot of things go numb, and you're kind of like, whoa, what's that? That's cool.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's cool.
Sure.
And it feels great.
In the moment.
For like 10 minutes, you just feel awesome.
Yeah.
And then you just want more.
Okay.
After that, you just like, all I want to do. And then it'll feel great for 10 more minutes once you get some more. And then all you do is, so it's a lot of anxiety, I would say, because you're like, when's my next chick gonna be? That's a lot of just being on coke. It's really not, although I would say sometimes I've had amazing conversations on it and amazing sex. More often than not, though, it's like very empty. Nothing really happens, and I drink way too much and get depressed the next day.
So there's give and take.
What?
Huge give and take.
Yeah, because the give is so small and it's not all the time. And dude, I've done it and my dick hasn't worked. So like I've said, I've had amazing sex on it. I've also just not had.
What's going down? What's going on there, big boy?
You're like, I swear it's just my noodle. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking. I want to focus on doing drugs that expand my consciousness, because coke kind of makes you think about you and your needs and your wants and what you. Yeah, it's all about you. Whereas mushrooms, you're kind of like, whoa.
The world,
trees
small,
are like, look at this tree just taking the wind. Sometimes I'll look at a tree and be like, this just came out of the soil. You just put water here, a little bit of food, and then just made this.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. When I was on mushrooms, I was in a hammock looking at the stars.
And Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I was like, yo, like, I'm a small human in a small city, in a small state, in a small world, in a small galaxy. And you're like, damn, do I mean anything?
Yeah, but you're connected to all of it.
Yeah.
You are a part of it all.
That's the biggest thing that do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Yes, love Jordan Peterson.
So the biggest thing that, from his book and his lectures that I've like really taken to heart is, you can either decide that your life means nothing and you can do whatever you want, or you could decide that your life means everything and you're responsible for that. And by that, he was like, everyone's gonna know 1,000 people in their lifetime, at least by name. Rhys is gonna know 1,000 people, Nate's gonna know 1,000 people. So just by that number alone, our network between you and me is 1 million people, 1,000 times 1,000. Right?
Oh shit.
And if I know one more person, 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 billion. So what this conversation me and you are having right now is way more important than you think. Because it's not just affecting you and me, it's affecting your thoughts and stuff that affect 1,000 people, which affect my 1,000 people, which is 1 million people, and then so on and so forth.
Right.
You know?
So you're saying that there's a global consciousness.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, you take responsibility for your life, and that what you do is way more important than you think.
Right.
This conversation, your work that you do, your acting that you're trying to pursue, the people you influence, the kids you have, the way you treat people is way, way, way more important than you think, and you have to take responsibility for that. And by doing so, you become a better person, which betters everyone around you, which betters everyone else who's around them, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So that's one thing that I took away that really was like, yo, it doesn't matter what you're going through. If you're depressed, sad, whatever, like take responsibility for your actions and become a good person, do good things, because there's the capital G good that you're responsible for.
Yeah, the global good, and that's, I think if we all thought that we're part of a domino, and the domino effect, and we're all feeding off of one another, we would change a lot about how everything works, connecting it. We would change our political system. We would change, like, the homeless people would be, dude, so I had a trippy ass conversation Saturday night, the night before the Super Bowl. Santa Monica was wild. And I was at this intersection, I just got off work. I saw this one homeless guy feed this other homeless guy who was acting like Tarzan. This guy had like hair, he was dirty, and he had like just one like patch there, and he's crawling on all fours. No one wanted anything to do with this guy, but this one homeless guy fed him some food, and to me that was really powerful. So I started talking to the homeless guy that fed him, mostly because I couldn't talk to them. He's grunting and shit. I'm like, I don't know, you might bite me. You seem untamed, sir. But I talked to the other homeless guy, and he started telling me stories about how he can't watch any more homeless people kill themselves. So when he sees homeless people in rough positions, he always tries to feed them or something. Because he's seen homeless people jump off buildings, and the police come, they pick up the body, and he checks in the library, the public library, for a police report and everything, nothing. They don't, and he said that the police don't care, like they don't make any effort to contact the family or anything, no police report gets made. They just pick up the body and take it away. I don't know how true, keep in mind, I don't know what I'm dealing with when I'm talking with him, but the story was powerful. And it's just like, while this conversation I hope has a net positive effect on the world, we really need to be honest with ourselves about where are these net negatives coming from. And we can turn our heads to like the fear pornography that is the news, and like it scares us with nonsense versus like actually talking about shit that could make society better. Like, what the fuck is that? Why is that our news source? Why is it just fear pornography and not like I don't know, two experts discussing something that is of value? And we also need to hold our government accountable for what the fuck they're doing on a global scale. Like, we are just such bullies. And I think that if we keep on this warmongering path, it'll just implode. Our country will implode. And like that, because we're sending out evil into the world, and we need to take into accountability. We realize that we're all interconnected, and how we treat one another affects the globe. We need to hold our government more accountable for what the fuck they're doing.
I totally agree with you.
And this isn't Republican or Democrat, because every president since like the 80s has only increased military presences, are fucking like, you know, it's just, there's no real healing going on. We're just causing more pain. Not here in America. We're super detached from it too.
At least like from an individual standpoint too. Like I told you, I don't pay attention to the news that much. Like I'm definitely detached from it. I don't know what wars are going on. I don't know like who's suffering out there, and I choose to because I only have control of me, right? And my happiness and my self-love and all that stuff like you were talking about. And maybe it's like a fault because I don't know about these things, and globally it should be better, right? But on the other hand, it's like I could focus on me and the control. I could try to do my best to control what I can control.
Yeah.
So,
Which is important. That's where it should start with.
I think everyone should start there.
Yeah.
And then by default,
it would just be better. Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah. I guess I sound like an anarchist. I was like calling for the end of Congress. What is wrong with me right now?
You hippie, Rhys. What are you most excited for in your life right now, bro?
That is an interesting question. I'm in the process of figuring that out because I'm doing this 30-day challenge of writing what makes me enthusiastic for the day for 5 minutes, what drains me of energy for the day, and what did I learn today. All those for 5 minutes. And then on day 30, you read all 29 of the other days and then write what made you enthusiastic for your life, or this month, what made you enthusiastic this month, what drained you of energy, and what did you learn about yourself this month. And so in that process, I'm only on day 12 today, and I still haven't journaled, but I would say what makes me enthusiastic is learning new skills, developing myself. I don't really know what direction that's going to be, so to answer your question, what makes me most excited is working towards becoming the man I know I can believe. Become. My bad.
Become.
Wow, dude. Fucking. Butchered that there.
That's what's up, dude. I feel like discovering yourself and like becoming the best version of yourself, whatever that is in your own definition in your head, is so powerful, I guess, because like every time I learn a new skill, every time I accomplish a goal, for example, like that whiteboard right there has like everything about the bitters company I want to get done in the next few months, right? And checking things off just gives you a certain gratification. Like last year, I was like, fuck, it'd be so cool to learn how to backflip, right? And honestly, I probably didn't learn it the best way. I just was trying to send it on grass, and a couple, like, I landed one. And
really?
Yeah, it was super cool.
Dude.
And I was like, I was practicing rolls on the ground, just like trying to get like my knees to the ceiling, all this stuff, and I landed it. Or for another example, I tried to hit, last year my goal was to do 50 pull-ups straight. A strict pull-up straight. I did not hit it. I hit 33 though. And I was like, dang, I didn't hit 50, but I only could do 15 before, and I did 33 pull-ups straight. And it doesn't matter if I hit my goal too. It's like I got better and I'm becoming the person who is better than yesterday or the day before. Or like I meditated for 30 days straight. I figured out how to like relieve my anxiety or whatever. Oh, that's super cool. You know, and that's the biggest thing about personal training, because I still do some personal training. It's like the biggest reason why I love it is one day one of my clients, really big dude, lost around 30-40 pounds with me, and he was like, yo, I could walk up the stairs, I could carry my kid, my life is better, right?
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really cool too. Like, and all these little things add up to, and if you can keep pursuing it, like your life should be better, and everyone's lives around you should be better.
Yeah, it'll open doors for you, and you gotta believe in the process a little bit, and it's hard because
it's not gonna happen overnight.
Exactly. With working out, you're like, I want the abs tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then after 10 days, you're like, fuck, I still got a little flap.
I only lost 1 pound. Fuck this.
Fuck this. And it's so easy to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go drink beers tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
And just pound cake after.
Yeah.
Just like, it's easy to not believe in the process and not believe, but if you believe in the process and see results, that is such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
And then that will like just
snowball effect.
Snowball effect. Now I have a process for everything, and I've been getting better at a lot of things in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows what the world has in store?
All right,
it's
bro.
exciting times.
I
Man.
think we'll end it there, my friend. Thanks for coming,
Awesome.
bro.
Thank you, Nate.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Ready to get a workout in?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. See you, folks. Peace.
Bye.
Rhys Gillett. Peace. Is that fun?
That was great.
Yeah?
That was a great time.
That was fun?
Yeah, I had a blast.
That was fun.
Oh, that was a good one. That was my first podcast ever.
Just shooting the shit.
Just shooting the shit. Can I hang on this?
Yeah. It's super sturdy.
Oh, you got her.
Hour and 15.